So you get to circle these to show me how you feel, describes how you feel when you read a book. Okay, so this one says, how do you feel when you read a book on a rainy Saturday? Which picture would you like to circle for that one? Okay, so go ahead and circle that. Good. How do you feel when you read a book in school during free time? And there's no wrong answers. All the answers are right, so you can circle whichever one you want. How do you feel when you read a book in school during free time? How do you feel about reading for fun at home? Okay, how do you feel about getting a book for a present? Good job. How do you feel about spending free time reading a book? It's this one up here. You can circle him. How do you feel about starting a new book? How do you feel about reading during summer vacation? It's almost summer vacation. How do you feel about reading instead of playing? I'd rather play too. How do you feel about going to a bookstore? How do you feel about reading different kinds of books? How do you feel when a teacher asks you questions about what you read? You don't like that. Why don't you like that? A lot of people say they don't like that.
I usually play a lot.
You like to play a lot? How about this one? How do you feel about reading workbook pages and worksheets? So those are like papers that talk about your books. How do you feel about reading in school? How do you feel about reading your school books? How do you feel about learning from a book? And how do you feel when it's time for reading in class? Is it because you'd rather play or you just don't like to read in class?
Don't like to read in class.
No? Why don't you like to read in class?
Because the other kids get to do something where the kid does nothing but do the questions.
Oh. What if everybody was doing the reading in class? Is it okay then? You just don't like doing it when everybody else gets to do something else, right? Okay. That helps me to understand that. Okay, how do you feel about stories you read in reading class? How do you feel when you read out loud in class? Have you ever used a dictionary before? Do you know what that is? Okay, so we're going to skip this one. And how do you feel about taking a reading test? You like taking reading tests. What do you like about them?
It's quiet and there's no other kids in here.
Oh, it's
2 persons.
Yeah, so when it's just you, it's quiet and it's easy to do, huh? Good job.